And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, December 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We welcome you. Boy, if you have been outside this morning, you know that it's about freezing. I didn't get the temperature, but there's so much frost out there. And if your car was left out overnight, be prepared to do a little scraping before you start to drive. Well, each Friday we are on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Wilson Bank and Trust, located throughout Middle Tennessee. We talk about the excellence in banking since 1987. It was in 1987 that Wilson Bank and Trust went from an idea to a thriving institution and has grown from a single two-bedroom house to include offices in several counties, all the way to Chattanooga and Cookeville and Nashville and Brentwood. From a time when a transaction could only be made in person, they've reached an age where banking is done in the palm of the hand, miles away from a bank. And despite all that has changed, a big reason they've succeeded is because some things haven't. They remain a community-focused bank with a hometown approach and a desire to treat others the way that they want to be treated. And we do know that the holiday hours, they're going to be, I believe it's on Tuesday and Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Wilson Bank will be closed, and they'll be closed, of course, for New Year's Day. The usual holiday closing, so today, no doubt they'll be open until the usual time, 5 o'clock at the drive-in window, and you can get any business transacted that you need to do. Some of the branches are open on Saturday as well, if you need to do that tomorrow. But we don't have a representative this morning, and nobody has called in, and we're just here to talk about Wilson Bank a little bit. But it's been we've had a lot of success stories in Lebanon, and I could start naming a bunch of them. But I wonder if there's been really a bigger success story than Wilson Bank and Trust. We've had a lot. Cracker Barrel started here, of course, and many others. And if I start naming, I'm going to leave somebody out. But Wilson Bank and Trust is a great success story. Excellence in banking since 1987, as we say. And one other thing we might mention this morning, the investment services offered through Raymond James. You can pursue your goals with help from a dedicated Raymond James financial advisor. Your relationship with Wilson Bank and Trust gives you direct access to Raymond James Financial Services advice and guidance that can help you pursue your goals. And they have a 3-step process to help you. They can, 1, identify and prioritize your goals. Through in-depth conversations, your financial advisor will get to know who you are, what you want for your future, allowing you to identify and prioritize your goals based on what matters most to you. And then the second step is to design a comprehensive strategy. Once you establish your priorities and open an account, your financial advisor will combine actionable planning and objective investment advice to help you build a strategy that works for you. And none of us are exactly alike, so they want to tailor it especially for you. And number 3, keep your investments on track. You'll enjoy access to their research, insights, updates, and perspectives. Plus, your financial advisors will make recommendations as your life needs and market conditions change. So you can start that conversation today. Go to wilsonbankinvestments.com or call 615-443-6509 to connect with your Raymond James financial advisor and set up your complimentary goal strategy review. All right. I have a guest who is probably going to arrive about 10 minutes after 7 when the guest time starts, I hope. But in the meantime, I have been joined by station owner and manager Susie James. Susie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's nice to be able to have Wilson Bank and Trust. They've been with us on Friday mornings for ever so long. I don't exactly remember when they started, and it's very rare that somebody's not here to do the commercial, but this is one of those rare occasions. You can talk a lot about Wilson Bank.
I can. They really helped me. They are one of the reasons we're even here.
Yeah.
I had to get a commitment letter from a bank prior to filing for the license for the FCC in about 1990. I guess I needed the commitment letter. I had already filed for the new FCC FM license, and I went to the bank that I had been banking with, and they turned me down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And Wilson Bank and Trust said yes.
So I went down the street to Wilson Bank, but it had to. It couldn't be anybody. I couldn't have a co-signer. I couldn't have. My stepfather was in the radio business, but he couldn't own any part of it or give me any money, and so it all had to be above board and legal. And so they gave me a commitment letter for a certain amount of money. Now, I needed a whole lot more than that when we started actually building it more successful with the license. But yeah. They helped me from the beginning. And
then became an advertiser, and
yes.
One of our good advertisers have been, I guess, ever since.
They have been, yes. Yeah. And I think they've been sponsoring this show from maybe not day one, but...
very soon.
Yes, almost 31 years.
Well, I may embarrass somebody here right now because now it is 10. Actually, it's almost 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, and my guest is supposed to be here, and he's not either.
Well, I don't know who that is, but I'm so glad to see you this morning.
Well, I'm going to tell who it is. It's Chris Dow.
Oh, don't
Chris,
throw Chris under the bus.
I've got his cell phone number here. I may give him a call here in a minute, and we'll get him on the phone. There's about 3 things I want to talk to Chris about, and one of those is his son Colton, who I understand has gotten over his injury with the Titans and is practicing again, at least. And I don't know when he'll get in a ball game, but I think the whole community has really been proud of him making it as a member of the Titans. He was on there last year, and then this year he's been injured the whole season. Hadn't played any, but we'll find out if Chris calls in or makes it. But in the meantime, you want to do it. Let's go ahead. Let's do our break, and I'll close out for Wilson Bank and Trust by saying what I usually say each Friday morning. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you with excellence in banking since 1987. A break now, and more coming up on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. This all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They'll help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota. Check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A car on its side is slowing down this traffic flow on 24 westbound. It's going to be here in the Antioch area around OHB. Again, it's interrupting that traffic that's coming in from Murfreesboro and Rutherford County right now on 24 going westbound there at Old Hickory Boulevard. It's been busy out here in the last hour or so trying to clean up that wreck on Vietnam Vets going westbound at Gallatin Pike. That did slow down that traffic in Hendersonville. Hey, whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, call Independent Roofing Specialist today at 991-2358. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas, Tennessee's largest, longest-running, and most affordable drive-through light and music show is back. We're talking 3 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all synchronized to some of your favorite Christmas tunes. After the lights, Santa's Village is loaded with food and fun, a petting zoo, pictures with Santa, even a helicopter ride above the lights. Take the short drive out to the Wilson County Fairgrounds to make some Christmas memories that will last a lifetime. Open 5 p.m. nightly through January 4th. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com. Family owned and operated for over 15 years.
And we welcome you to our program again. Susie James, our owner and manager, is sitting right here with me this morning. I did talk to Chris. He says he's on the way, so you and I can have some more conversation here till he arrives. What's going on? Well, we've got something special coming up at 7:30 after the break at 7:30, which we might want to keep a little secret, but we're going to have a special person here.
We are.
Doing part of the commercial for Exit Rocky Top Realty.
That's right. We're not going to share that.
Well, that's up to you.
Okay. Well, Judy Cox is Judy and Medina, C&D, Exit Rocky Top Realty. They have for many, many years, maybe 2 decades, I don't know, one of Judy's grandsons has come and read out of the Bible, Luke 2, 8 through 20, I believe is what it is, the story of Jesus. And so all her grandchildren, grandsons and granddaughters have grown big adult people. Not that they couldn't come read, but she called last week and wanted to know if my little grandson, Gordon, would like to come read this scripture. And so he's in the 1st grade, and he is a new reader. And he came out, and first we just asked him. Chelsea asked him, his mother said, would you want to do that? And he said, yeah, of course I would. He's very comfortable here, and so we're really looking forward to his on-air debut. He did come out and practice, and I tell you what he enjoyed the most is editing the audio. He is just like a pro in there. He's a little Billy Jr. I showed him one time how to run the board, and he's like, I can turn the mic on and off and the cool edit, and then he'd highlight parts of it and just cut it. You cut it with what looks like a little pair of scissors, and it's an interesting program, and it's not hard, but he's not intimidated by it.
Well,
that's the difference in children.
I haven't mastered that myself.
Well, your talent, we just take care of you, so we wouldn't ask you to edit anything.
Well, I've thought about this in 2 different ways. I probably ought to know how to do that in case it's needed.
You should.
But on the other hand, if I ever learn how to do it, then I won't ever have any help, and I'll have to do it forever. Then, so
I think we would always help you. Yes, yes.
Oh, we're going to have a couple of days off next week and the next week.
We are.
You're being very generous with us this year. And I was thinking about the next 5 days. Of the next 5 days, I'll only have to be here 1. And then it'll be the same way the next week. Off Saturday and Sunday, and then here Monday, and then off Tuesday and Wednesday both weeks.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. Well, most businesses are closed at least half a day Christmas Day, but we're taking off Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. Of course, the station will be on the air. There's somebody always working. And then the same thing New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. One funny thing with that is Tanya, our salesperson, Tanya's birthday is New Year's Eve, so she feels like she gets the day off for her birthday. And MJ's birthday, she's a New Year's Day baby.
Yeah,
so the two of them get their birthdays off. So really, that's why we were doing it.
Well, the way we operate here is so different from the earlier days of radio. I mean, it was a 7-day-a-week thing, and if you were scheduled for a holiday, you worked a holiday.
Right.
Oh, I've worked many of them in the earlier years. But now it's so easy to have it the way we have it, and of course you can go 24/7, which we do here.
Right.
For years and years. Even when we got FM here, we signed off at midnight. Actually, when we started, signed off at 10:30. So there's something on the dial here 24/7.
There is. There is.
Well, I think I saw a vehicle drive up in the driveway, and Mr. Dowell is probably going to be making his appearance. If that was him, now it may have been somebody else. I don't know what kind of vehicle he's got. I don't even know what came up. But anyway, it's a Friday, and Monday's when we usually look for things to go bad.
Well, this isn't bad. This is just a little blip.
Okay. All right. Well, if you say so. All right. Chris Dowell has arrived.
He's in the building.
And Chris says that I said 7:30, which I did not.
I know exactly what you said.
Morning, Chris Dowell. How are you? We've got about 11 minutes here before 7:30. Okay. Tell me, what are you doing now?
I bought dump trucks, believe it or not. I bought dump trucks and running them.
Wait a minute. All right, start again. You bought a dump truck.
I bought dump trucks, yep.
And I guess you're using that to gainfully.
Well, actually, I'm using it just to kill time pretty much because right now ain't much going on, you know. So, but when I bought them when I retired. So,
you had any regrets about retiring from the fire department in the city of Lebanon?
No, it was time. I mean, you know, it's time for somebody else to take the reins and, you know, see what they can do with it. I done about all I could do with it, and so it's one of those cases to where, you know, time's up. It's time to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason Baird is an impressive person. I have come to just really enjoy his visits. Now, you and I always enjoyed your visits. I never knew what you were going to talk about and what might come out of your mouth. Jason's a little bit more business, but he has told some real wonderful stories about different things that's happened at the fire department.
Right.
Some heroes, some heroic efforts to save people's property, maybe even their lives. You didn't get into that as much as him, but I know.
No, because here's my thing, and we, you know, and rightfully so. I guess I probably didn't do the guys justice or whatever, but when you're getting a paycheck, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to babysit. We're supposed to get in there and work. And everybody at the fire department, I'd give them all badges right now because, you know, that's what they do. Yeah. But they understand. They know the job when they got hired.
Well, what are you doing with your truck now? We'll give you a little free commercial here. You hauling things for people mostly, or?
Yeah. I mean, you run up and down the road. I run for different companies here in town or whatever. So, but right now, it's in Johnson City.
Well, I want to save the talk to your son Colton for last this morning. We'll keep everybody in suspense. He is practicing again, right?
Yep.
But I want to talk about the Monday night county commission meeting, because that was it was historic in a way, but I guess all of them are to some extent. But I mean, so many people were there, and so many spoke there, some for, some against the proposal, and it was very interesting. I'll be honest, I had my TV on to channel 198 and watched it from about 7 o'clock till it was all over.
Right.
I think pretty much from the beginning, though, you were opposed to the rezoning.
Yes. Well, you know, we talked about it, and the thing about it is, you know, and of course, they've been out here also, Paul and Paul Rinke and Scott. You know, I first met with the bunch out in Tucker's Crossroad, Perry Phil, Jack Pratt, you know, and so many, Michael, and there's so many of them out there, and of course, you know, they told me their side of it and how they felt and which way the community was leaning or whatever. And I said, well, when the community starts calling me, that's when I'll make a decision. You can't make it off 3 or 4 people, but when the community starts speaking, you know, that's who actually put me in the office. But on Paul and them side, I told them, you know, pretty much the same thing, that if it come down to it and the community didn't want it, they're the ones that voted me in. You didn't. You can't vote from Memphis, or you can't vote from Texas or whatever. So I went with the people. But a sidecar to that is I like dirt, put it that way. You know, that's the way I was brought up. Was brought up on a farm. We haul hay, tobacco, raise cows, pigs, you name it. We done it. And so then you go back home after having all these meetings, and you look, and there's your grandkids. You know, you like, well, you know, that's what's wrong with the world today. Everybody wants to go to college, and they want to get a college education, but there is no laborers out there, put it that way. Nobody that's got, you know, calluses on their hands or whatever, where they get down and really work. So to me, that leaned on me a little more, but when the community spoke up, I went with the community.
Yeah. Well, and all Terry Scruggs, who is commissioner for some of the area there that joins your district, I believe.
Right.
And he was for this, but his main thing, I believe, was the fact that if the proposal went through and everything went as they promised, the water line would be extended. There'd be people who have water that don't have it now and don't know about the future.
Right.
still, you feel like you had to vote the wishes of the people.
Well,
More people there were opposed.
Right. Well, that's the ones in Terry's district that wants it. I represent the ones that's in mine. Ultimately, I represent the people of Wilson County, but those numbers got outweighed too, and you got 2 or 3 people that actually live in there that want the water. The rest of them didn't. They was comfortable with where they're at and all of that stuff. But I can't fault Terry, and I talked to a couple people yesterday. I really can't fault him. He stood up for his people, and that's the way that we're elected to do. So. But it wasn't. Was it smart? I don't know. But
well, I was. I'll be honest. I sat here and listened to a lot of this, and I was leaning towards being for it until I thought about what the Planning Commission had done. The Planning Commission had voted 8-2 to keep this zoned agriculture.
Right.
And I think the Planning Commission should carry a lot of weight in this. And I'm thinking, well, this would be the lesser of 2 evils to go ahead and do this rather than have a lot of apartments or whatever. And then you stop think this has been agriculture. Why can't we keep it agriculture?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it'll ever stay agriculture. I really don't. I'm not going to close that door. I don't think that it's going to actually stay. Will we fight to keep it? Well, if that's what the community wants, that's what we'll fire that shot also. But ultimately, I really, realistically, I don't think it's ever going to just stay agriculture.
Well, Chris, to say the least, it was a night to remember.
It was. A lot of satisfied people, and I'm glad I had the opportunity. The people say you can run for mayor. I ain't running for mayor. I don't care nothing about it. Only thing that I know, and that's the reason why that actually I probably got voted in Tucker's Crossroad, because I was born and raised in Tucker's Crossroad, and out in Tucker's Crossroad you do things the right way, and so. And some people say I'm one of a kind. No, I'm not either. I'm not one of a kind because it's a lot of people. I can go all the way into Hartsville and Smith County or whatever, just country folks that believed in doing the right thing.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your son, Colton. He got drafted by the Titans in the 7th round. He was doing well last year, and I believe the gunner on the kickoff. And then he got hurt.
He got hurt, and actually tomorrow, I think, maybe tomorrow, I think that's right. Is the anniversary of that debacle or whatever. But now he's back out. He's rehabbed. Struggled a little bit at first because he'd never been set down like that, not for a whole year. And when they told him it was going to be a year, of course, it opened his eyes to like, hey, man, this really can happen. But luckily enough players, on the team or whatever, kind of eased his mind and say, look, it's going to happen. I mean, if it ain't you this year, it's going to be somebody else next year. So just take your time and come back when you're healthy. Well, here we are.
Yeah. Well, this has been a disappointing year, but you can't blame him.
Well, yeah, you can. He's part of the team. So, if you got Titans strapped on your back, then, it's a disappointing, but really is it? It's I looked at the roster other night but I guess the league other night. And there's about 17 teams. 17, I think right now, 17 or 18 teams that are below 500. So it's not just the Titans. The whole league has got to step their game up a little bit.
What kind of expectations does he have? Do you have? I mean, is he satisfied where he is, getting to be in a few plays each game?
No, I ain't. No, what kind of question is that, Coleman? You're probably thinking about Vanderbilt players, but nobody's ever satisfied. They want to play as much as possible,
sure.
and they want as many yards and touchdowns as they can possibly get.
But at least he's still a part of the Titans.
Oh yeah, he's part of the Titans, and so he will be part of the Titans as long as he goes out there and do his job. One interesting thing, when I went down there and watched them practice, and you hear these coaches talk and doing their interviews and stuff, they say everybody's auditioning every day. It don't make no difference if you're a starter or not. You look at Will Levis, you're auditioning every day. So it's one of those cases he's got to be sharp every day.
Wish we had a little more time, but how has this changed him? He's a little bit different when he started with the Titans. Got to be.
Well, to be honest with you, it hadn't. He's still the same, and actually he's a grown man, but he's a kid. I mean, that's basically what it is. He don't waver from that. I can tell you right now, there ain't nothing flashy about him because he don't spend no money. And when he comes up to the house to let's go out to eat, I'm thinking that he's going to pull his wallet out, and I ain't going to have to pull mine out. So now Colton will always be the same. He's just a humble kid. Well, both of my boys are just humble kids, Sometimes one's louder than the other. But he's going to they're both going to always do the right thing, or Daddy's going to make them do the right thing.
Well, what about the other? Where is he and what's he?
He's at the fire hall. He's still at the fire hall. I think he's going on years 6, 7, something like that. I don't know. But, like I told him, I patted him on the back the other day and told him, I said, well, you ain't got long to be 30. 30 will get here quicker than you think.
So he's older than Colton.
Yes, yeah, okay. He's 2 years older than Colton.
I got it. Chris, thanks so much for being with us. We'll do it again one of these days.
Yes, sir. Not
Chris
a problem.
Dowell, former fire chief, member of the county commission, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Please keep it right here, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts of oil. Tax and disposal, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Cleaning up this accident in the Antioch area. Still some rubbernecking going on where this car flipped on its side. 24 westbound at OHB. It did interrupt that traffic that's trying to get in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County up through the Antioch area right now on 24 westbound here just in the area of Old Hickory Boulevard. Wrapping up that wreck on Vietnam Vets westbound there at Gallatin Pike. That did have traffic slow go a few minutes ago in Hendersonville. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken has new items on the menu. Order online this weekend. It's easy. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
Save time and money with a business account from Wilson Bank and Trust. Our great account benefits help you grow your business with online and mobile banking. No monthly fee for bill pay and low monthly balance requirements. You'll enjoy easier record keeping and tax reporting when you open a business account to keep your business expense separate from personal too. A business account helps preserve your personal liability protections from business obligations. Wilson Bank and Trust is here to get you there. Visit us at any of our 30 office locations across Tennessee or go online at wilsonbank.com. Member FDIC.
We'll have mostly cloudy, windy, and cold conditions for today. Highs will be around 40. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the upper 20s. In the partly to mostly cloudy again for our Saturday, highs around 40. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your Severe View forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company. Every Friday at this time, we feature the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. And we have Miss Judy here this morning. Judy Cox, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you. And I guess maybe the first order of business would be a Medina report.
Well, she's feeling a lot better. Yesterday was the best day she's had. So I think she's on the mend. She's going forward now, so I think she's going to be better here in the next few days. But she said to tell everybody hello, and you know she wants to be here.
Yeah. Well, we should say the C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Great people, great service. Somebody answers that phone 24/7. They're people you can trust. All right, we got something special this morning.
Yes, sir. You know, every year, I think all the years we've been doing this, I was looking back, and my oldest grandson is now 24. And I think when he was 6, he started reading the Christmas story for us every year at Christmas. And I went through all the grandchildren as they've grown up. Well, now they're all grown up, and I thought, I have no little ones anymore. And I thought, who do I know that loves to read, loves books? And then I thought, I know somebody special that'll probably be able to do that for me. And, you know, growing up, to me, the Christmas story, when our family gets together, we have a lot of traditions and that we carry on every year. And we all get together. There's always food and there's always games and we play. But my dad always made it, we always had to do the Christmas play, and then we had to read the Christmas story. And that was a given. You just had to be quiet and you didn't act up. Now, one year, my mother acted up because she decided she didn't want to be Mary in a white sheet anymore. She wore her red dress and her red hat and her red high heels and changed up Mary a little bit that year. But other than that, it was always a serious moment. So when my dad would read the Christmas story, we all listened. And over the years, as each kid got older, they got the chance to read the Christmas story. And it was a very meaningful moment for our family, and it continues to be now. And so today we just wanted to share it with our listening audience, and so they can hear the Christmas story read by a young man. And I'm going to let you introduce him, okay?
Well, it is my pleasure to have Gordon Nice with us this morning. In the first grade at Friendship, Susie James's grandson, and Chelsea, who used to do your commercials and still has a tag on there.
Does.
It's her son. And Gordon, we're glad to see you today, and you can read this for us, okay?
I'm going to read Luke 2 through 8, Luke 2, 8 through 20. And in the same region, there were shepherds out in the field keeping watch over the flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. And they were filled with great fear, and the angel said to them, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign for you. You will find a baby wrapped in swaddling cloths and lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased." When the angels went away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go over to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in a manger. And when they saw it, they made known the saying that had been told to them. But Mary treasured up all these things, pondering in their heart. And the shepherds returned glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told to them.
All right.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Gordon.
You
You
much.
did so good. I want to let you talk to Gordon a little bit there.
You're in the first grade, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And where do you go to school?
Friendship Christian.
And Grandmama Susie sees you nearly every day, doesn't she? You go to her house a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you got your little brother William with you this morning, I noticed. And he's got a little ship with him that he's playing with. I got to play with him a little bit one day here when he was here with your grandmother, and she was doing something upstairs. He brought a little toy in here and took it all apart, and then I helped him put it back together to get ready to leave. And after that, he said, "Mr. Coleman's a nice guy." I hope you think the same. It is so nice to have you with us this morning.
And he loves to read books. I know he's reads books from the Imagination Library all the time, and he's very, very smart for his age. Very smart.
Well, you did a really good job reading that, and you practiced a little, didn't you?
And I have my own library at school, which is today.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's one of your favorite books?
One of the Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Oh, I like that too. But he is very smart, and we just appreciate him being so willing to do that for us. And he did a beautiful job, just a beautiful job. And we just want to thank everybody for being our customers this year and having trust in us. And we're ready for a brand new year. It looks like it's going to be geared up for a good season next year. And
Tell you what,
we're ready to go.
Let's don't get in a hurry here. Chelsea, pull you up a seat. If you
Good.
don't mind, you can talk with us a little
Good,
bit.
good, yes.
And Gordon can actually sit down if he wants
That's right.
to.
You can sit down
He
and
has been standing up, but I think he did a little bit better standing up reading. He practiced a little.
He did really good.
But did a really good job. And we appreciate you being with us this morning. But Chelsea, you helped Miss Judy with her commercial since you were probably about his age, I guess.
That's right. I think you're right.
If not, it might have been a little younger. I know that my mom would tell me the words to say before I could even read them. So I've been on the radio for my whole life.
And everybody would always say,
following in your footsteps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody would always say, "Who's that sweet little girl on that commercial?" And I think of it, and her voice is still sweet, little girl.
It's here's William. William is with Grandma over here. Good morning to you. He's smiling and he really likes that ship. That's one of those ships of the 1700s, I guess, when they had all those big sails that were blown by the wind. And he's playing that. Well, Chelsea. You have two just magnificent, marvelous little sons that you can't help but love.
They keep us busy. We have a lot of laughs in our house.
It's great.
I was expecting a rep. I won't embarrass her, but a rep from the Chamber of Commerce in this time slot, and I don't see her this morning. If she wants to call in, we can put her on after the break or something, if she's forgotten us. But Miss Judy, I guess it's up to me and you and Chelsea.
Well, we'll just talk here. That's right.
William and Susie to carry
That's
on.
right.
If we bog down, MJ can help.
That's right. We want to remind everybody to bring their letters to Santa. It's not too late. Tuesday is your last day to drop your letter to Santa in the mailbox because we're going to get them delivered to him. And so we want to make sure you just put your name, your school, your teacher's name, and drop them in the mailbox in front of our office on West Main Street. So we want to do that and remind people about the Christmas lights, Evie's Lights. Look on evieslights.com, and they've got the map on there of all the houses with all the Christmas lights, so you can get out and drive and put the kids in the car and go see some Christmas lights. Do you like to see Christmas lights, Gordon?
Yes.
I bet so.
Well, as far as real estate goes, I mean, you've... you and Medina, two people who just, you're so into it. The real estate business, it's something that, you didn't grow up doing that, Judy.
No.
But when the opportunity came, you've made the most of that.
Yeah,
and Medina seems to have almost a carbon copy of you.
Well, she enjoys it. She loves it, and you've got to love it. If you don't love your job, you need to do something else, is what we always say. But we're looking forward this year. They're saying that though a lot of the bankers are saying a lot of people are applying for loans, so they're usually, if they apply for loans, then that means in the next few months they're going to be buying something. So I think we're going to have a good season coming up, and we just want people to get ready and get geared up, and we're looking forward for 2025. Gordon, can you believe it? 2025.
Gordon, are you going to sign the guest book this morning?
Yes.
Yes, we want you to do that. You have been a special guest, and we certainly appreciate having you. And no doubt you'll have opportunities. I'll bet one of these days Grandmom will have you doing a commercial that is taped like Chelsea used to, and you can hear yourself on the radio. Actually, you can hear yourself this morning if you listen to AM about 10 o'clock, if you think to do that.
That's
I think
really
we'll come
good.
on. We're repeated from 10 to 11 on AM. I don't listen to myself much, so I forget about that. But anyway.
We have some kid folks in California that listen. They put it on their phone and listen to the Coleman show in the mornings.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people listen to you across the country.
Well, we were talking about earlier about how long Wilson Bank had been a part of this, and I think you mentioned it. I don't know whether it was on the air, but when you came in, just
we've been 27 or 28 years old.
Mike Cox has always had good things to say about the program and about me, and I've always appreciated it.
Well, he's always appreciated being a part of it from the very beginning, and he stuck with it. You know, a lot of people go and advertising in our business. There's always people wanting you to do this, do that, to advertise. Well, some things work, some things don't. And I'm one of these, if something works, I stay with it. And this radio show has always worked, or I would not have been here every Friday all these years if it didn't pay off. And that might sound selfish, but when you go out, everybody, no matter where you go, they go, we heard you on the radio this morning. And they tell us things that they heard. So they are listening and paying attention. And so the radio has been one of our major advertising things that we have done year after year after year because it works for us. Yeah. And something works, you don't quit doing it. It works.
Well, you're doing something right. You've had a wonderful business, and I know
we appreciate
you've just got to feel good about Medina just being. She's just almost Miss Judy made over.
Well, she runs circles around me, so she makes me feel like I'm sitting still. But she does a great job, and she's always very dedicated to her work because she's been sick and sitting in a recliner doing business almost every day. Even though she hasn't been at the office, she's been taking care of things.
Well, it's about time for us to take a break now. Are you in a hurry this morning?
No, I'm fine.
You don't have an 8 o'clock appointment.
I don't have one to 8:15, so I'm fine.
Can you get there in 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to go to a break. I know that, and then after the break, I'm not sure, but we'll decide, and then we'll be back on the other side with more on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They'll help you find the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota. Check out the U35 excavator or the SBL 75 compact track loader. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Latest accidents over here on Briley Parkway westbound, right at I-24. Wrapping up an accident where a car's been on its side there in Antioch. 24 westbound near OHB. It did slow down that traffic flow a bit coming in from Murfreesboro on through Antioch. Also wrapping up the paperwork on a wreck from earlier. Vietnam vents westbound at Gallatin Pike there in Hendersonville. When you need dependable towing, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery. Check out their website, strtow.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's that time.
Shopping, buying presents, cooking, more cleaning. Hurry. This Christmas season, slow down and make some lasting memories with your loved ones. Snuggle a little longer, share your favorite memories, and create a new memory. Stuff will someday be gone, but our love and kindness lives forever. Don't make a move without us. Merry Christmas.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
Titans game's coming up.
And we thank you for joining us in our final segment here on a Friday morning. Every once in a while, things just don't go as they are scripted, and this morning has been one of those. If you're listening, you know that, a regular listener especially, but Susie is still with us, and we've got a lot to talk about, and Miss Judy Cox is still here. So between the two of you, we're gonna wing it till 8 o'clock. But Judy, thanks for staying over.
You're welcome.
And at 8 o'clock, you can leave and go for your 8:15 appointment. Okay. Susie, you got an appointment at 8 o'clock or 9?
I'm already here.
Yeah.
I do have somebody coming in. We're working on football already, and one of the things that we've got going on with the station, of course, we'll carry the next couple of Titans games that we may not talk about them too much, but
but I'll tell you what, we can talk for a minute about Mike Keith, who does their games.
Yes.
Mike Keith, met him a few times. He's been out here. We had an anniversary celebration. How many years it was, but we had been carrying them for a while, and he came out here. Mike Keith is a good guy. I mean, he's not a boisterous, pompous somebody because he's the radio voice of the Titans.
Right.
He's just Mike Keith, and he I appreciate him.
He is. He is. Another thing that we have added just in the last year, and we carried just a very few last year, carrying a few more this year, but is Cumberland University basketball. And that crew is really interesting. It's John Boyce and the athletic director, Ron Pavin. And so the two of them make up that team, and they do a great job. Of course, they're already playing basketball, but we're carrying just the conference games. And I believe it starts Thursday, January 9th. I believe it's the first game, but we'll carry the women's, and then followed by the men's. So,
Judy, do you know John Boyce?
Oh, yes, he's great. He is great. He's very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable.
John Boyce is really, to me, he is an impressive person. He's a whole lot younger than I am. I'm probably old enough to be his grandfather, but he's very knowledgeable. He's very savvy. He's got a lot going for him. He really has, and he's sure not lazy, because he's got 2 or 3 jobs. Seems like he's doing all the time.
Doing something.
Doing trivia somewhere. Doing sports here. He's a good member of our team.
But, I was just thinking, and I want to thank Susie, not just because she's sitting here, but I was thinking, what if Susie hadn't had the drive to start the radio station or continue it on all these years ago? Because she took a big leap of faith to do that, because that was jumping out into something new and exciting, and for a woman, especially in this world, it was a big step for her, and she took it. And look what's happened over the last years, because this town, the community would not even know what's going on without the Coleman Show. You think about it. I tell people, tune in from 7 to 8, and you'll know what's happening in Lebanon. And it's true, because you cover whatever's going on, whether it's something exciting or something controversial. It's all there, and that's what I love. You always bring out both sides of everything, because people have the right to know what's going on, and y'all always, somehow you end up, you know how to pull it out of the guest, the information that needs to be pulled out. You have a way of doing that. But I want to think about thanking Susie, because what if she had not took that step of faith to come out and do this? All these years, all the knowledge that we've learned would not have happened.
Well, I thank you for saying it, Susie. I know you do too.
Well, it's really, it's true. That was a big leap of faith, I would call it.
It was. Some of it was just going into it blindly. I didn't know what I was doing. The funny thing is, Judy, I was selling real estate.
I remember.
And there were so few, especially females.
That's right.
And so I started, I stopped about the time you were going good.
Right.
I think we overlapped just a little bit, but made a lot more money selling real estate.
Well,
but it's not all about the money. We're still here.
One of the ironic things about all of this is I almost didn't do this.
Yeah.
I hemmed and hawed, and I won't ever forget it. I would look out this way to see if I could see that tower going up anytime, and know that when that happens, I'm going to have to say yes or no and all that, and I was very hesitant, and finally she called me one day and said, "We're planning to be on the air in a few months here, and if you want this, fine, but if you don't, I got to find somebody, and I need to know."
Wow.
And so,
well, we're really glad
I'll
you
try.
said yes.
Well, I think so. But what I would have missed had
That's
I
right.
not. It's been a great
That's right.
31 years.
That's,
There's always some. All rose bushes have thorns. As
That's
they
right.
say. And it hadn't been great every day. I mean, just like today, we've had a couple of little snafus. Had another one this week where I really goofed up with the mayor, but it shows how human I am, I guess. But Susie's put up with it.
That's
well, we've all worked together, and we've all kind of grown up together.
It's like a family, really. When you look at the station here, it's like a family. Billy and everybody that pulls in and does behind the scenes and makes all this stuff work.
Yeah, and one of the good things that I like, our regular advertisers, the people have the 5 or 6 minute slot like you do here. You just get to know them, and you work together. You have a story to tell. You want people to know about your business, and it's my job to do all I can to help you tell that, and to get you more customers and make it profitable, make the advertising worthwhile. So
it all works together.
we love it, and all the different guests that you get to have, all the people that I've met in 31 years here. Some I would have never even known, others wouldn't have known much, and
well, the public would not have known a lot of them. And, like, especially during the elections, to get to know all the candidates. I mean, how else are you going to find out what they think unless you read the paper? And a lot of people don't do that. So it gives a place for them to tell their story so everybody can make their decisions. But you look back, whatever's going on in Lebanon, it's on the radio, and we can hear about it and learn and make our decisions as to what we want to think.
Yeah, and the election returns itself, and
that's always exciting. That's always exciting.
We appreciate him very much. I do. He is really he is a fine guy, but when I was sick, when Helen was sick, he called our house to inquire about us more than once, several times, and I appreciate him.
And she's had some good guest hosts that can fill in that have done a marvelous job. And for somebody that's not doing this all the time, they've done a really good job to fill your shoes when you're not here. So we appreciate that.
It looks pretty easy on this side of his mic, but several of the guest hosts have struggled, and they've said, I didn't realize it was that hard. You've got to keep it going.
Well, he knows how to keep pulling it out of people. I always said, people call me and they go, I'm going to be on the radio. I'm really nervous. I don't know what to do. I said, just sit there. And they said, we feel like a deer in headlights. We don't know what to say. I said, don't worry. He will pull it out of you. Just sit there and he will pull it out. And you've had some guests you've really had to pull deep to get them to talk.
And every once in a while I get asked, did you hear what they said, what their answer? I said, no, I don't remember that. I was probably thinking about the next question.
I'm sure you've had guests that you couldn't hush, and then you've had guests that you had to pull it out of.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we've got 4.5 minutes left here this morning. What else is on your plate, Susie?
Well, I was talking about sports. We go straight from Cumberland University basketball into baseball, and actually there's a couple of I think there's 3 different dates that the games overlap, basketball and baseball. So when we do that, we split them. We put one on the AM and one on the FM. But
that's something. Let me bring this out here, because I don't know what you were thinking 32 years ago, prior to the station going on the air and all this, but there'd been the AM 900. WCOR had been here since 1949 and had been off the air for maybe 3 years or something. And I think it had to been. I don't know how much you thought about this, but if you hadn't resurrected the AM, if you'd have just got your FM going, and then somebody else had done that, and we had 2 competing stations here.
Right.
I'm not sure either one of them would have made it, for one thing. Think of the competition that would have been there. I mean, not only would you have the newspaper and other advertising that you're kind of competing with, but a radio station, that would not have been easy. Now,
well, you know who thought of that? It was not me. That was Bill Berry.
Bill Berry.
He said, you've got to buy this license. And I remember saying, I can't deal with more than one station. I'm doing the best I can to wrap my arms around the one I've got. And he said, you've got to do this. And it was just a small amount of money, because who had been off the air for 3 years. That's the worst thing you can do with a radio license, is for it to go silent,
really
go dark.
All you did was bought a spot on the dial. It wasn't anything else.
Right. There was nothing else. But
didn't you think how wonderful that has been, that you don't have the competition when you need to have 2 different things.
Right.
You can have one on AM and one on FM, and maybe everybody's not totally happy, but at least they're they've got something going there.
Well, we also needed the identity. There are still people, I don't care how many times I say WANT, they're going to call us WCOR.
That's right.
And recently got a bill from a vendor, and I mean, it said WCOR. That's all he knows. And then also having that Wilson County's own radio that was used with WCOR. So we were able to get that too. So there was a lot of value, plus having that license on the air.
Yeah. And actually, there's another station, thanks to Bill Barrett.
Yes, WKDA.
Yeah.
And then we swapped the dial position because one of them was stronger than the other, and we wanted WCOR to have the strongest positioning because it was known. So,
but you know, you can listen. A lot of times we're going to Cookeville, and you can hear the show all the way to Cookeville. It shows all the way.
But then adding online has just opened us up.
Yes.
Worldwide, literally.
Talk about that. There, people might not understand that.
Yes.
Well, we take typically it's just the FM signal. So what we're talking about right now is online at WANTFM.com. So you can pull that up on your phone, or you can go to our website and or computer, whatever you listen to. But you go to our website and you can hit listen live. I've got it saved on an app on my phone. There are other people that listen to it on a Radio Garden. You know, there are other apps that carry just stations, but...
And I have a picture on my phone of you and Dr. Stum when y'all were in Italy. You were listening to Coleman.
We were listening to Coleman,
you know, we have a lot of people that listen to us, and they tell us that we're at work already, and we can't have the radio at work, but we're at our computer, and we watch it online. So a lot of people from 7 to 8 are already at their jobs. So they do listen to it on the computer. So
all right. Well, we've patted ourselves on the back enough.
Well, let me throw this one more thing in there, and then of course this show is uploaded just this 1 hour, so it's uploaded after the replay, and we replay it from 10 to 11 on WCOR. But then you can get it on our website or on YouTube. If you get on our website, you can find it. Okay, I'll stop.
Judy, thanks for staying over this morning.
Well, we enjoyed it, and I thank Gordon so much. He did a beautiful job.
And she brought him a gift. Yeah. She brought him a truck.
We'll see you next Friday.
All righty.
Don't forget.
We'll be here.
Thank Susie, you. Thank you. And that's it for Friday until Monday. I wish you a fantastic day.